Liftoff in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome back to the Moving Right Along podcast, the podcast by young writers for young writers. We're your hosts, Ruby,
Kat, and Ray. And today, our season finale is a very special episode because it is not just your hosts here. We also have our very lovely crew members. So if they'd like to go ahead and introduce themselves.
Hey squad, my name's Cosette and I manage the social media account for the Moving Right Along podcast.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and I'm the co-producer of Moving Right Along.
And I'm Simone, and I am the producer of Moving Right Along.
So these were our crew and our cast and crew. Unfortunately, we are missing one of our crew today. Moment of silence for Dell, our scriptwriter. They couldn't be with us today, but they're always
in our
thoughts. Always in our hearts. But yeah, we've got a really, really exciting episode for you guys today. But before we start with the main bit of the episode, which we'll get on in a minute, we have a little cool thing for you guys. So if you remember, was it our last episode? I think it was our last episode. We asked you to send in some character intros. So we looked at all of them. They were amazing. Like, all of them were pretty great, but we did have a favorite. So our favorite is courtesy of Mona the Bad Artist. I hope I'm saying that right. We really, really loved your character introduction, which was about Nat and Duvar, necromancy magic users in an urban fantasy world, and one of them has a corruption arc. And we thought, ooh, we love some corruption arcs. We love some necromancy. Yes. It all sounded really, really interesting. We might have another opportunity for people to send things in, so make sure you do that whenever we post things on the Instagram, because you will get featured on the podcast. Woo! Fame! Anyways, now that we've done that, which we're gonna move on to the main bit of our episode, and it's a really special time with you guys. This episode is gonna be chaotic. Someone might die, probably Ruby. Ruby.
Fun. Why is it always me?
But yeah, it's gonna be amazing. And now to introduce what we're doing today, we have Cassette. Go for it.
I'm back again, besties. Hi, I'm going to explain the rules to you today. So this game is a little play on the game Snake Oil. If you ever played that, I hope you have. It's okay if you haven't, because I'm about to explain the rules. So basically in this game, there's going to be one writer, aka player, and they're going to be given 2 words by the agent, aka the judge. Those words are selected from a random word selector, which includes words that have been submitted by you, the audience. So thank you for those. The writer then has 1 minute to pitch a novel/story to the judge using both of the words as the title. They can include the tropes, the character archetypes, etc., etc. So for example, words moon squirrel. They pitch a story titled Moon Squirrel. It's about a squirrel who wants to go to the moon. There's found family, enemies to lovers, and a wise mentor. After the writer pitches their story, the agent decides whether they want to agent it or not. If they decide to agent it, the writer gets an acceptance, aka a point. If they do not want to agent it, the writer receives no acceptance, no exceptions. Repeat steps for however many writers there are, yada yada yada. We're gonna jump into it. It's gonna be so fun.
Editor's note, don't hold on to these rules too tightly. We didn't.
He sounded so sarcastic. It's gonna be so fun. It's
my
gonna be
bad.
fun.
Thanks, Bestie, for telling us the rules.
And this is where I jump into chaos manage, which is my normal job here. So let's jump right into it. I have a random wheel word generator that we have taken all of your words that you've suggested from Instagram, and I've already Googled all of them that I didn't know the meaning of, just to make sure we were okay. So, who wants to go first?
Cassette should go first, because she's actually done this before. Like,
okay.
I'm too dumb, okay? I can't do this.
All right, Cassette, are you ready for your for your words? Too bad. Let's see. Your first word is atlas, and your second word is, I'm going to say it wrong, Bildungsromans, which means a kind of novel that deals with one person's formative years or spiritual education. So Atlas and Bildungsromans.
All right, Atlas Bildungsromans is a story, a retelling of the legend of Atlas, the man who held up the world, except now he's a teenager. He's 17 years old, and it's a young adult novel, enemies to lovers, found family, LGBTQ representation. He holds up the world, but who is there to hold him up when he's feeling down? It's a romance in the vein of the Song of Achilles, all right? We've got tears, we've got drama, we've got love, we've got passion, and at the very end, you will be left wanting more. Unfortunately, it is a standalone, but it has series potential. I'm done.
That was
My
amazing.
God. Guys, how do you follow that?
Oscar.
I want that.
so
Copyright that
beautiful.
right now.
Is
I
it
would
an
read that.
acceptance?
Writing it
I
down.
would 100%. Oh my God.
Miss
Does
Agent?
anyone have any follow-up questions to that? Like, that was amazing.
When does it drop? Please.
2050.
Well, that's
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think, like, I am so into that. Is it YA or, like, new adult or adult? Where are we going?
It's YA.
I think I would absolutely give you a point for that. I would agent that. That genuinely has potential. I love it. So,
Thank you.
Kat, you're going next because you're next on my screen. So
That is screen discrimination. I will not tolerate it. I fight for my right to
Okay.
be free. Okay, how am I supposed to
your
follow
first
that up?
word
Okay.
is
Wait, let me write this
snow
down.
globe.
Snow globe. Okay.
Snow globe. And your second word is fire. Snow globe fire.
Imagine a snow globe. So this is called the fire in the snow globe, right? So there is snow globes, right? They're like mini little cities, right? And inside them, there's all these like little people inside the snow globe, right? And they're all like ice people, and they like the snow, right? Until one day, there is someone born with the power of like fire. Obviously, this is not a good thing to have in a snow globe universe because you will melt everybody. But this person does not realize it, so they accidentally snap their fingers, and like the whole place goes up in flame, shattering the snow globe. They exit the snow globe, and they find a whole new world beyond the snow globe filled with giant people, and they like fire, and they teach the cavemen how to use fire because this is back in caveman times. I don't know where the snow globe came from because I don't know how cavemen would have snow globe, but still that makes sense. So they teach the cavemen how to use fire, and in it they find themselves as they light up the fire in the cavemen. They light a fire in themselves. It would be found family, and also just all the tropes, but also a bit of genocide there because they've killed the entire snow globe. They killed the entire snow globe village. Yes, that is my pitch. I don't really know where I went with that, but that is my pitch, and yeah.
I don't know what just happened there.
Emotional roller coaster.
It's a retelling of Prometheus. Isn't he
Yeah.
the one who gave them fire?
Yeah, it is. It's basically
Oh,
like
really?
that.
Mythology retelling tonight.
It's a
We're
new,
really
it's a
going
new
to the
telling
Greek
of
mythology this episode.
it's a new telling of someone who gave them fire, but to do so they had to sacrifice their entire like civilization by burning them all in a fiery snow globe.
That's what, is it new adult, YA? What do we got?
It is a dark adult book. There's sadness, there's lots of tears. I feel like there'll be a scene where they look at their hands and they're like, I burnt this whole world, but I still feel so cold.
Bars.
I think you just sold a book.
I'll be honest, you had me and then you lost me and I'm back in. We're here for it. You absolutely get a point for that.
Thank you.
I still feel so cold.
Okay, next on my screen. Kat, you got a point. I'm sensing a problem here, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Jasmine, you're next.
No.
Are you ready for your words?
I can't.
Your first word
worried.
is
Okay.
mischievous. And your next word is
Mischievous. Okay.
forbidden lovers. And your time starts now.
Once upon a time, there was a shark who fell in love with a human, but he wants to eat him as well. And so their love was extremely forbidden because, like Twilight, this is Twilight retelling, but instead of Edward Cullen, Edward the Shark. And Edward the Shark, this is a children's novel, picture book, pop-up style, you know. Edward the shark is in love with this human, kind of like, from the same thread of like the Bee movie. So lots of like flashbacks, forlorn love, gazing off into the distance. There's a lot of shark representation.
And time. That's your time.
So important.
Very, yeah.
Oh my god, wait, I was into it though.
I
I'm here for the
appreciate
shark
a note about
representation.
shark representation. I mean, Jaws gave them such a bad like reputation,
Yeah, man.
and
Yeah.
this
You know that scene in
Edward
Little
the shark
Mermaid
just
where
wants
she's
to
like,
love.
In the end, he decides to become
A
a
shark.
vegan and help the world.
It's so beautiful.
It is and all the money goes towards sustainability and shark.
I love sustainability.
Yeah, there's a message of sustainability. I think he should start a business where he like makes his
The
own
shark?
clothes
Shark?
and becomes a
Yeah.
fashion
it's a
designer.
fashion.
I would buy those clothes.
Does this
Sorry,
shark
just
have a
give me that
posable
one
thumb?
scene from Moana with a shark head, but
That was amazing though. You did a great job.
Oh.
I liked the pop-up children's book edition. That really sold it for me. I can picture it now. A shark wearing like a Hawaiian shirt, but like a fancy one. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm here for it.
But it's like made from, from nature. Like,
Seaweed.
sewed in.
It's seaweed.
Seaweed.
Woven
That
in
would
Sustainable
be
seaweed.
so
fashion,
gross.
And that's how he shows his love to the human. And so, yeah.
Okay, just out of curiosity, does the shark speak human or does he speak shark? And they have a language barrier as well.
There's a bit of a language barrier, but they get over it and they're able to
Love
communicate.
knows no boundaries of languages, you know?
Love knows. There's a language, guys. I'm pretty sure. Or wait, not. What is it called? When they make noises.
Echolocation,
Echolocation, like bats.
except it's a shark and a human.
I'm
Yes.
so invested.
Okay. Okay. Next is Ray.
wow, lovely. Okay,
Ray,
Hit
are
me.
you ready for your words?
absolutely not. Let's go. do it.
Okay. First word is flabbergast.
I love that word.
And your next word is lit. And I
Wait.
know for a fact that was
Wait.
submitted by cassette. So,
2 questions. What definition of flabbergasted are we going with right now?
there's multiple definitions.
No, I'm just
Well, your
saying, like,
heart
what
beat.
is the definition of flabbergast? Because I
Your
love
heart
the word, but I don't
feels-
know what it actually means.
Astonished.
Doesn't it mean like awestruck?
Surprised.
Whatever you think it means, go with
Okay.
that. Because your time starts now.
Oh my god, okay, so there's these 2 best friends, right? And they've been best friends since childhood. We got the childhood best friend trope going in here right now. Childhood best friends, you know? And then one runs away, right? Just, no, runs away. She had enough of school and the world, so she runs away, right? And the other one is completely flabbergasted. So, so because they are flabbergasted, they decide, well, my best friend ran away, so I'm gonna light this school on fire because I don't like the school, and the school made my best friend run away. So they light the school on fire, and then they go to jail because they committed a crime, because arson is a crime, and you go to jail for, a crime. So they go to jail, right? And then we get the best friend comes back from running away, and they save them, and they break the other best friend out of jail, and we get the whole found family trope. We get, the whole childhood best friends to enemies to rivals to back to being friends to being best friends to being lovers. It's a whole mess. But they end up in good in the end. We got the happy ending. We got the LGBT.
I like that one.
You were doing so great.
So
That was
fun.
really
How
good.
did you
What do
spout
you
all
mean
of that
work?
out?
What do
I'm
you mean?
so impressed.
You were so on
I
it,
just
Ray.
went in with
You're-
way
you're
too
an
much
inspiration,
confidence.
actually.
Start strong, finish strong.
That was beautiful. Okay. It sounds new adult. Is it new adult?
Mhm.
Hmm.
No, we're YA for the win.
Okay. We're a YA team here. Cool.
Yes.
All right,
No. Why?
Ruby.
No. Oh. Saving the
Let's
worst
see what
for
you
last.
get.
Oh
Sounds
gosh, I
like
hope I get my words. I like my words.
Paint chips is your first word.
Paint what?
Paint chips. Paint chips.
What's a paint chip?
You don't know what a paint? What?
Chip of paint.
No, a paint chip. A paint chip is like, you know, when you go into Lowe's or Home Depot, like a home store, and they have the wall of the paint selections, and you get the cards. That's a paint chip. There. Okay. Paint
Okay,
chip.
I understand.
And then your second word is crazy. So crazy paint chip, and your and go.
Okay, so our main character, everybody's always thought she was crazy. Like, it drives her insane how everybody just looks at her and they're like, girl, you crazy. And it has hurt her feelings for so many years. And so one day she goes into Home Depot and she's like, everybody just thinks I'm crazy. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. I'm in pain. And she comes and she's like looking at paint chips because she really wants to paint her porch. And she reaches for a paint chip, and guess who reaches at the same time? The love of her life. It's her soulmate. It's a soulmate trope. Her soulmate is painting his porch the exact same color at the exact same time, and they meet, and they get these paint chips, and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like drawn to you. Why do I feel so drawn to you? And it's so much angst already, because she thinks she's crazy. She thinks she doesn't deserve love because she's crazy. And so it's just this whole mess of they're trying to get the paint chips, and then they fight over the paint chips, and then it's so bad, and then it becomes, you're like, is this enemies to lovers to soulmates? It's so interesting and it's so amazing, and you're gonna be crying at the end because he dies. Spoiler alert. And then it ends, and it's so sad. It's so sad.
Okay.
But then he resurrects but then he faked his death because he was actually a member of the mafia, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. That's my story. Thank you.
Okay, Wattpad.
I'm sorry. I was so ready for the
Wattpad?
Ruby romance story, and then it went downhill, and it
Off-brand.
escalated.
Off-brand.
Ended on AO3, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you guys.
It
That's
was,
my
yes.
story.
The Wattpad gang.
Okay. Was that our practice run?
Yeah. And now it's time to fight to the death. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm ready.
Y'all are gonna
I feel
fight.
warm. The gloves are coming off, you know?
So for round 2, we are going to be pitting. That was our practice round, so now we're pitting ourselves against each other. So 2 of our contestants are going to get the same set of words, and they have to pitch 2 entirely separate novels. And we have to decide which one we like more. Who is going first? Ray, who do you want to go against, me or Jasmine?
I'll take one for the team and go against Simone. No, my brain's
Okay.
not
Take
gonna
one
be
for
able to keep up.
Ruby, my friend.
All right, Ray. Which one of us is
Best
pitching
friends
first?
to enemies.
Do you want to go first, Ray?
No, you go first, so I know what expectation I have to live up.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to know what
My first word, and I kid you not, and
Oh.
I'm so angry at you,
I know where this is
Ruby,
going.
is poopy.
Really?
I am not doing that. I am not doing that.
Yeah, you are.
And Ray is sharing this word.
Wait, no, I do this too.
Yes,
Yeah.
The game is rigged.
that was
Oh.
sabotage
Squared.
from the host.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
so that's our
happy.
first word.
I'm so happy.
I'm so angry. And our second word, Ray, is blade.
Yeah.
Be played.
Right, listen, this does not sound like it's gonna go well.
This is gonna be really good.
So, we have in a fantasy setting, we have in a fantasy setting a young man who wants to make a name for himself as an adventurer, but on his first job in his first dungeon crawl, he trips in front of his whole group and falls face first into a pile of rat poop. And so now he is known as Rat Poop Guy. And his whole story from there on is to get the magical blade of Sarthal, I don't know, and make himself the wielder of Sarthal rather than Rat Poop Face Guy, because that is not a cool adventuring name. So we have the chosen one trope. We have, somehow I'm going to get a one bed trope in, because there's always an inn and there's only one bed in it. And he has a lover in the same adventuring group, and they fight over the blade in the end, and there's a corruption arc. He ends up having to kill his lover, but he gets the blade, and he is no longer Rat Poop Guy. But was it worth what he sacrificed? And that's it. That's the book.
Whoa!
That was
Right in the heart.
I love how you worked in
Felt that
Poopy.
My
Poopy
God.
guy.
Oh.
I'm so proud.
I'm so mad at you, Ruby.
Poopy was a blessing in disguise.
Are we hearing Ray's first and then
Yes, we're
Jody?
doing Ray's now.
No! Okay.
Ray, you've
Yeah,
had
Ray.
time. Come on,
I
go.
still have nothing. Okay, so my story is called The Blade of Poopy, right? And it sounds like it should be a fantasy novel like Simone's, but it's not. You know what? It's really a romance novel and a self-discovery novel in a contemporary YA setting. Because, and I'll tell you why. Because there's this young teenage girl, and her dream is to cook, but her mother won't let her cook because her mother is mean. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, but
Ratatouille.
she. Oh.
Sorry.
Roll. Okay. No,
It slipped
because
up.
she wants to cook so bad, but her mom won't let her. So she takes a knife and she makes a cake. And it where am I going with this? She makes a cake. A shake.
Shake.
No, a
Can't even say it right. Shake.
It's really stressful. Okay, and she makes this beautiful chocolate cake that she then presents to this contest. And basically, her cake wins, and her mother's all like, "I'm so sorry I ever did you love. Go fetch your chefy dream." But there is a twist. Along the way, she had a corruption arc. Because the reader was kept in the dark, the fact that she is now corrupted, and the cake she made.
Ew. It's a great story, but also.
From now on, the judges all know her as Poop Cake Girl.
That was riveting.
Horrible.
Okay, jury, you have to
feel,
pick.
I feel a little bit
Yeah.
sick, I don't know if this was worth it. I don't know if this was
want
worth the
everyone to
torment.
know
Yeah.
This is Ruby's fault.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Instead of giving a point to one of them, why don't we just take away a point from Ruby so she starts negative for making us
I agree.
I agree.
A unanimous vote. I think that's a unanimous vote.
Yeah, Kat, a negative
Okay,
point for the host.
I may
You
or may
agree,
not have
yes.
thought
Oh,
through
sorry.
my actions when I put Poopy into the generator. Okay, it was a moment of weakness, a moment of 8-year-old boy humor, and I'm not gonna say I regret it because that was really funny. But I will say that I feel sorry for you guys that you got Poopy. But you know what?
That's
I think
coming in the episode.
I think it's about the friends we made along the way, and not about the destination. So
Yeah.
Oh
I didn't make
Just-
any friends, unfortunately.
I feel
think
like
broke
we're
the
not
relationship.
friends anymore.
Okay,
Don't know if you can
we're
come
gonna
back from
keep
this
it
one,
as
We
really.
lost along the
me or
way.
Ray gets a point. So, Cassette, who do you pick?
Unfortunately, because the idea of a poop cake stresses me out, I'm going to have to go with Simone.
Okay.
That's valid. I understand.
Jasmine, who do you pick?
Ray, you know I'm your biggest fan. But I also have to go with
And
Simone.
as a, Kat, who do you pick?
I'm trying to decide. I feel like I like Simone's idea, but I feel like Ray really incorporated the poop there. Like,
Yeah.
that did make me feel sick like poop does. Whereas I feel like the nickname of Rat Poop Face, it could have been any nickname. It could have been any nickname, that had driven them. But the idea of the cake being made of poop, that is an integral part of that story. Makes me feel sick. I want to throw up right now. But it is very pivotal in that story. So I think I'm gonna have to give it to Ray for this one.
okay, Ray, where was the blade in your story? I can't remember where it was.
No. The blade was the knife that she made the cake with.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm very
Yeah.
biased towards the poopy side of this argument, but I do think that it's important that both parts are equally incorporated. So I'm gonna have to go with Simone because the poopy and the blade but Ray, I love you, Ray.
We're
This is
on the
not gonna be
same team,
This
Ruby.
is not. I can't be biased.
Yeah.
I know.
I
It's
can't
okay.
bias on my
It's
team.
valid.
This
Simone's
is
was
gonna
much
be
better
a
than
really great
mine.
next marriage
Yeah.
counseling session. Oh,
Uh,
I don't want to talk about it.
yeah.
Okay, so that's 1 point for crew.
I hurt you,
1
Ray.
point for
It
crew.
is.
Uh-oh.
Good job, guys.
And next we have, by default, I believe, Ruby and Jasmine. Are the contestants ready?
No.
Okay, and Ruby, you're going first. I've decided to give Jasmine like a little bit of chill. Okay. All right, your first word is actually a phrase because we did say word or phrase. So your first phrase is, when they were mine, now they are dead. And your second one is tooth. It's tooth. Okay, Ruby. When they were mine, now they are dead, and tooth. Go.
Well, today I'm going to be pitching to you all an adult horror. I know, subverting expectations. It's what I do. Everybody knows the Tooth Fairy. Everybody loves the Tooth Fairy. So what if I told you that the reason why the Tooth Fairy collects teeth is because they're thinking of their dead lover who had no teeth. And until the end of eternity, they will be collecting the teeth for this dead lover. Because they're like, that person wanted teeth so bad, and it's so sad. But here's how it becomes a horror. Here's how it becomes a horror. So a little girl one day, she catches the Tooth Fairy in the action. And everybody thinks the Tooth Fairy is gonna be so, like, pretty and, like, cute and, like, oh, a little fairy. No, it's terrifying. He looks terrifying. Or she, I don't know, ambiguous. They are, like, red and big and beefy and hairy and just disgusting. And so this little girl, she finds the Tooth Fairy and she's like, what in the world are you doing? Why are you taking my teeth? Because she didn't actually want her teeth taken because she thought it was made up. She thought her parents were the ones taking the money. And so then she finds this and the Tooth Fairy's like, and then he runs away and he takes her teeth with her. And so it becomes, and so she's like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? And so the Tooth Fairy, somehow, he thinks that this little girl had no teeth because she had just lost her last teeth. And so the Tooth Fairy thinks that this little girl is her long-lost lover reincarnated. And so this Tooth Fairy starts stalking the little girl. And it's this crazy horror. There's mafia, because I think that should be a recurring thing in my pitches today. And she's actually the daughter of a mafia boss, and it's so bad. And oh my gosh, the Tooth Fairy, everybody's hunting the Tooth Fairy. And it has found family and... because that would be weird.
I'm cutting that out. I am cutting that out so quick. I'm cutting it out. No.
Anyway,
You're done.
FBI, open up!
And
Anyways,
that's
so
time,
that's the
Ruby, even though we don't have a time limit.
Yeah, you're done.
That's time.
told you
Okay,
I'm bad.
Ruby.
Traumatized,
Tell
never
all of
losing a tooth again. Okay.
Yep,
That's
the goal.
horrible.
It's a horror for a reason. Horror for a reason.
I think we're all just like in
Y'all, that was
stunned,
really bad.
shocked
Oh my
silence.
Yeah, I don't know
Wow.
how to. I'm gonna follow it up, but Okay, sorry, we're going against each other.
It's okay.
right?
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure you're
guys.
gonna beat me.
I've got it. So I've got a dystopian YA thriller symbolic novel for you guys today. You know how we have Divergent, it's talking about like making your own path. We have, The Giver that's like run away. No. We're done with those. This is the time of in this society, we have this group of people, and each day they come to this magic pool for this ceremony of cleansing, right? And we have this group of friends, found family trope, and every day they go to the pool. But one day a few of them decide to stop going because they're like, society, this is weird. Why should the clean ones always be the ones to get all of the benefits in the society? If you don't go to the pool, though, you become dirty. They kick you down the ladder, right? So this story, this symbolic dystopian novel, is about personal hygiene. Because without cleansing our teeth, they die, right? And so it's really about root canals.
Yes.
So without the cleansing pool, this like, ceremony, this daily thing they do, they start, like, members of the group start disappearing, dying off, and so they're like, what's going on? What's this, pyramid scheme? Whatever's going on here. And it's like in the same vein of, I would say, Lord of the Flies, perhaps, I guess we could go with, and in which it's a bunch of, like, teenagers, and most of them die in the end, and the moral of the story is brush
Awesome.
on your teeth.
I love that.
I'm brushing my
That's
teeth
what I
tonight.
thought.
Thanks.
I'm voting for Jasmine.
Yeah.
Vote number 1.
You can't. You don't get to
Jasmine,
vote,
from
Ruby.
me.
Hey, Ruby.
Yeah.
Yes, Cassette, who do you go?
Listen. Both of those had me on the edge of my seat. But the idea of a tooth fairy being evil won me over. So I am going to have to go with Ruby's pitch.
Really? You're sure?
We're
Oh
so
my
proud of
God,
you, Ruby.
yes.
We're so proud
I
of you,
got a
Ruby.
vote, guys. That's one more vote than I thought I would get. Dang.
Okay, Kat, you're next.
Yes. Right. Okay. Listen. Here are my notes. Here. I'm gonna Simon Cowell you guys. Right. Listen.
Oh no.
First
Oh,
of
no.
all, Ruby, Loki, it sounded
Oh.
like you ripped this off of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's movie, The Tooth Fairy. Does no one remember that film? Literally everyone the entire
So
time. I was
true.
like- I was like, when you said, like, the beefy Tooth Fairy, I was like, you're talking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay. But I did like the idea of an evil Tooth Fairy, that Dwayne didn't have that, okay? So I did like that, and I did like the reoccurrence of the sudden appearance of the Mafia, because, the Mafia. Now, Jasmine, I liked it. I like the thoughts. I like the idea of cleanliness. Problem is, it feels like it was written by a dentist. And you know what? Dentists are evil. They're trying to kill me, okay? I don't want to hear them tell me to floss anymore,
So true.
okay? And I'm not here to get lectured by my book. All things being said, I can't decide. I am abstaining from this vote because I cannot decide. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one I pick.
Okay. Ray.
Okay. So, listen. I am a huge fan of horror and dystopian. So y'all got me on edge here. I don't know. Both your stories terrify me because I know I brush my teeth every night, but I feel like I should be brushing them more after Jasmine's pitch. Okay. I just feel like, if you don't, it really, really drew me in. I was like, okay, yeah, some friends. You're like, boom, they die. Oh, okay. Whoa. All right. Okay. But also, then we got Ruby. And Ruby's story gets horror vibes. The evil tooth fairy really puts a spin on all of our childhood stories, So for that reason, I think I'm gonna have to go with Ruby.
So, Jasmine, your story. I'm not a fan of dystopian. I'll admit I'm picky, but I'm very into the whole dental message. I feel like that's important. Dental hygiene is important, and that way you're kind of being your own tooth fairy. You become the tooth fairy. The author is.
So true.
Ruby, I hate horror. I can't do horror, and I Googled scary tooth fairy while you were pitching. And I will not sleep tonight. Do not Google that. It's horrible. So for that, I have to go with Jasmine because I could not do your novel. It's terrifying. Don't Google it. Kat, you have to pick.
I don't. Who says I...
If Kat picks, there's either a tie
Tied
or
or
Ruby
Ruby
wins
wins.
more. So,
Ruby wins a
Ew, teeth are so gross.
yeah, no, they're disgusting. You Googled it, didn't
Yeah,
you?
pretty much.
Oh yeah, of course I did.
It's horrible. So is that a point for the host?
I
think?
so. Yeah, that's a point
Yes,
for
Okay,
I'm still
host.
abstaining. I'm abstaining from the vote because both
Okay,
of you
fine.
disgusted me.
So hosts get a
disappointed.
point. Okay, so we're going into round 3. No pressure, Kat and Cassette. So we're tied. Y'all are the tiebreaker for round 2. So,
Uh-oh.
Kat, you're going first, and your first phrase is live, laugh, love.
Oh.
I love that. Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Oh my god. And so you have live, laugh, love, and then your second phrase is being in the hate phase of your work in progress. And
Oh,
go.
I think you said whip. I was like,
Isn't that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, I know, but I thought you literally meant like a whip. Like being in the hate phase of. I was like,
Live, laugh, love, and being in the
Okay.
hate phase of your work in progress. Go.
so my story takes place in the home of an MLM owner. She is a girl boss. She loves to just gaslight her husband, and she loves to gatekeep from everyone. They have those signs, live, laugh, love, all up on their thing. And they are writing a story. They're writing a biography about themselves, about live, laughing, and loving, because they want to show everyone how they live, laugh, and love. But the thing is, right, this story is just not working. It's just not working for them. And they're thinking, how am I going to live, laugh, love under these conditions? I can't do it. I cannot do it. So one day their husband comes home and they see that their husband has like a lipstick mark on his like suit. And she's like, he's live, laugh, loved with somebody else, right? And she's like, I am trying my hardest. I am trying my hardest to girl boss, and this man is not letting me girl boss. He is reducing me down to a child boss, and I do not want that, okay? I am being infantilized by this man. So when she's writing her book, her biography about live, laughing, loving, she realizes that she needs something spicy in her biography. She needs a twist, because it can't just be a story about a simple suburban MLM owner thing. So she decides to take her husband out to go smell some candles that she sells in her amazing MLM business. And if you too want to join an MLM, then sign up today on this amazing buy 10 boxes and get the 11th free. So yes, while she's doing this, he smells a candle, but plot twist, the candle is poison. He dies, and she buries his body. Her biography, right, now has a beautiful twist. Her husband is dead. The police come around and they're like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm not living, I'm not laughing, I'm not loving anymore. And that's the title of her book. She writes that, I'm not living, I'm not laughing, I'm not loving anymore. But the detective in charge of her case says, I see that you love to sell candles, and he is also an MLM owner on the side because police work doesn't pay that much anymore. So he decides to join MLM groups with her. And they decide, but they're like, you know what, we need more sales, right? And he's got a wife as well, right? And he decides that, you know what, we need to get rid of the wife as well. So they go on a killing spree together, killing people with their scented candles, all the while making their book sales go up. And at the end, they're like, we want to be so famous. We want to like reach the next level of, you know, MLM. We want to be at the top of the pyramid. We want to be the like cat at the top of the pyramid, right? That's what they want to do. So they decide to confess their entire crimes to the police thing, and then in prison they start their proper MLM business together. And on their cell wall they write in blood, live, laugh, love.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh, that was really something. Okay.
God.
How am I supposed to live, laugh, love in these conditions?
Exactly.
We might need to clarify that MLM in this case stands for multi-level
Multi-layered
marketing.
Yeah,
Pyramid
I was
scheme.
really confused the entire time. I was like,
Do you not know
What?
that? It's MLM is like pyramid scheme owners, basically.
No, I knew that.
So
so
they're
they're
the-
thinking of the different.
Yeah, no,
Like-
no. So they're the like kind of people, right? So they're the ones with like live, laugh, love, and they say to people, "Oh, if you buy my candles and you sell these candles, then you'll make money." But it's all just like a massive scam. See, if you've ever gotten a message from someone being like, "Hey, babes, I really loved your new post on Instagram. Would you like to buy these amazing lip glosses that I've been selling?" And you're like,
Cassette, you have had some extra time to think of yours. So,
All right. Title: Live, Laugh, Love. Subtitle: Being in the hate phase of your work in progress. Except the work in progress is the main character herself. A week before her wedding, she finds out that she's a lesbian. She finally accepts herself. She has to call off this wedding, and now she is the work in progress. She travels the world, And guess who she meets? She meets a lovely lesbian from Spain. And with this Spanish lesbian, they get married all of a sudden because things move really fast in lesbian relationships, all right? It's a little U-Haul moment. So they get married really fast. She's come to realize that, living, laughing, and loving is really all you need. You don't need the approval of others. You don't need money. You don't need fame. These were all things she sought before, but now she's come to the realization that all she needs is her little Spanish wife. And so they travel the world together. And they live happily ever after, except for the fact that her Spanish wife has a husband in the mafia.
God.
Oh my God.
It always comes back to this,
He
guys.
ruins everything.
Full
Okay.
circle.
He ruins it all. He comes in one night and he takes the Spanish wife. And all of a sudden, this is less a story about finding yourself and more a story about seeking revenge on those who hurt you. Okay.
Oh.
We have strangers to lovers to enemies to friends because she finds out that the Spanish wife has been working with the mafia husband this entire time. Because our main character is the heiress to a Fortune 500 company. Okay? And she gave it all up for the Spanish wife. Now she says, you know what? Never mind. Maybe I don't want to live, laugh, love. Maybe all I want to do is rule the world. And so she builds a dynasty and she defeats the mafia husband and the Spanish wife. And she discovers that all she ever needed was herself.
Wow.
Thank you.
Whoa. That was so
That
powerful, Cassette.
Oh my God. You got us.
Mafia plot twist.
Delicious.
I have chills.
Oh my
So good.
My
I'll be here
Spanish
all week.
speaking heart loves it. Oh,
Yes.
so good. Okay, voters.
I like how you're like, Spain.
All right, voters. Ray, we'll start with you.
Oh, great. Okay. So, I really loved the murder mystery element of the cat. I loved the the constant repetition of living, laughing, and loving. Love the title, first of all. Oh my, the title. Very cool, very cool. But I also love Cosette's, the whole. Okay, so with Cosette's story though, I really loved the whole element of, love is good, but when love betrays you, you gotta find yourself. You gotta do your own thing, and you gotta make money and make an empire to topple your enemies. I love that element. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to go with Cosette's story.
Kat looks so betrayed right now.
She's like,
Oh.
It's
Ruby.
fine.
Oh, Ruby's next.
Vote.
Those were both so good. This is why we saved you guys for last. Because they were both really good. Cassette, I love me a good mafia plot twist. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I love me a good mafia plot twist.
Yeah.
And I also love the whole toppling empires. That was really awesome. And then Kat, I was really just the multi-level marketing. Once I realized what it meant, I was like, oh, I understand. And I really liked how the idea of the multi-level marketing gone murder spree, because I know people in multi-level marketing.
I think they say I'm no murderers.
Not that any
I
of
know
them would
people-
ever go on a murder spree. They're all actually very nice people. But it was just yeah, that was really funny. Oh my gosh, you guys both were so good. But I think I'm gonna go with Kat just because I really liked the whole MLM gone bad, because I thought it was really funny. So, but Cassette,
good.
I loved yours as well. I thought it was so good.
Thank you. And to be a major motion picture.
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah.
I watched.
Can we
Girl
be
boss
invited to the
Subway.
premiere, please? I'll show up.
Of course. Actually,
comment.
everyone but Kat is invited to the premiere.
Oh,
Oh, it's fine. I'm just gonna, instead of live, laugh, love it, you've made me die, cry, and hate instead.
Die, despair, despise.
That's
But
the
you
hot
gotta
topic
put that one in
version
the
of that
quote.
shirt.
Yeah. Back when I was in my
Okay.
emo phase.
With your Hello Kitty, that's what you had written on your pencil bag.
Die, cry, and hate.
Live, die.
Okay, and Jasmine, you get to vote now.
So, I came, halfway through with cats. I didn't really know what was going on, but I understood the heart of your story. I understood the candle making, the Bed Bath & Beyond vibes. And I think a crucial part of truly living, laughing, and loving is the intricacy and the layers, how it's confusing, it's not a clear path, and I think you really got to that. I also love the murder genre. I thought very interesting. And Cassette, there's no me in Live, Laugh, Love, but self-love is such, that's a topic that I do think should be in more books published. So there's a lot of potential in both of these. However, I do think that I'm gonna have to go with Cassette. Simply because that was a wild ride. Had me on the edge of my seat. Did not see the mafia twist coming.
You never do.
And, I do love the self-love plotline. I thought that was the best. I thought that was really good. But Kat, I would go to the movie premiere of yours, Cassette might not go, but I'll go to that.
We'll have the movie premiere on the same day. You guys have to pick.
You have to pick which one to show up to.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna have all the celebrities at my,
Okay,
I can't remember any celebrities. All that was in my head was Dwayne The Rock Johnson from earlier.
It's about
You know what?
power. It's about
Is
power.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson not the
Power.
epitome of live, laugh, love? Does he not live? Does he not laugh? And does he not love?
So true.
Drive,
Oh.
power, devour.
Exactly. That's his
Dwayne's
version.
Live, Laugh, Love.
Agreed.
That's the Jim Bro version of live, laugh, love.
Yes.
Okay. So that's 2 for Cassette, 1 for Kat. And I think, Kat, I love your story. I love the candles. I'm here for it. I just bought myself some winter candles as like a treat, so I get it, I would totally die from accidentally sniffing a candle that was poisoned. Like, it's totally a way I would die. However, Cassette, your story. Me encanta tu cuento. Honestly, I loved your story. My Spanish-speaking, technically Mexican Spanish, but Spanish-speaking heart. I can just... That's a great combination. And then you got the mafia twist in it. So even though I love the candles, and I could totally see myself dying to a poisoned candle. Although, wouldn't you have to eat the candle, or is it just the sniff?
It's a powerful
It gives
sniff.
off a...
It's a power. As my science teachers would always say, waft it, don't sniff it.
Waft.
Exactly. You get someone else to smell it, like a food tester. You get someone who has like live, laugh, love on their like thing, and you'd be like, hey, smell this candle.
I'm voting for Cassette. There. That.
That whole speech, Kat, you still didn't get the vote.
Plot twist.
You will
Shocker,
regret
I know.
this. You will regret this.
You
You will rue the day that you
I
decide.
mean, you do scare me,
Rue
Kat.
the day you lived,
I'm-
laughed,
yeah.
loved.
You think you live, laughing, loving now?
To my demise.
You don't know the meaning of the word live, laugh, love. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Sounds like someone's in the hate phase of their work in progress.
Oh!
Yeah.
I'm the business
Okay.
one. I like to call it callback.
So as of round 2, our versus round, crew has 2 points, and hosts have 1 point.
All right.
Hey, host,
Y'all
just know
are
who got that. Who
losing.
got us
Let's
that point? Who
go.
got us
Let's
that
go,
point?
team.
Woo! Oh, Ruby got you that. Wait, who did get you that point?
It was Ruby.
It was Ruby, right?
Ruby's
Okay,
really good at
sorry.
Disgusting.
Alliances have begun.
Oh no.
Yeah, y'all, think about that next time. Next time we're gonna call me hyperactive toddler. Think about that. Who got us the point? It was me.
It has never been the crew. It's the
Yeah,
hosts
yeah.
that
I think
have
it's
this
maybe just one person.
animosity between them.
Yeah, think about that.
I'm a massive bully. This is what you're learning about me. Is that I kill people with candles and I bully them.
Oh wow.
You know?
Okay.
I'm truly embodying the spirit of live, laugh, love.
Yes.
So now, at the end of round 2, we are at crew 2 and host 1. Host, you have a chance to come back. For round 3, we are doing another round of verses, facing off against new people, new opponents. I hope I made that sound intense enough. So, let's go. Who wants to start? Come back next week to find out who wins the ultimate crew versus host pitch war in part 2 of our season 1 finale double feature, which will air next Saturday, December 18th. Until then, thank you for listening to the Moving Right Along podcast made possible by the Young Writers Initiative. You can follow us on Instagram at Moving Right Along Podcast or find us on tywi.org. And while you're there, why not check out the Writers Town, our Tywi Discord server. And a reminder that Tywi still has blog applications open. They are looking for a romance writer, speculative fiction, screenwriter or playwriter, nonfiction and essays, and a literary writer, as well as an Instagram manager and Twitter manager. More information can be found on tywi.org or Tywi.org on Instagram. Thank you to our amazing crew without whom this wouldn't be possible. Our rap battle queen, Cassette, our Highness of Horror, Delaney, our musical genius, Jasmine, and our main cat herder, Simone. All sound effects are from thefreesoundproject.org, and all music is by Kevin MacLeod at filmmusic.io. Today you heard Beauty Flow.